That is cursed, bro.
Hello.
We had
That's
pizza.
one meal out of many, so
But
it
for the
doesn't
most
count.
part,
I
yes.
hate our pizza at school. Like, I like most
I
of
also
their
hate
yeah,
lunches. The
our
pizza
pizza. I don't like
sucks.
pizza.
Ah!
Also, one of my favorite things to always get there was the nachos.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Probably why
Anyway,
I'm
I have a new
fat
pet
as
peeve
I
that I
am.
discovered. It's
Yeah?
people
What's that?
complaining that school lunches aren't made like their ones from home. Every time there's a fucking chicken and rice bowl, one of my Asian friends are like, "Ooh, this isn't the way it should be," and I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, you think I look at the potato salad? I'm like, yes, that's the way it should be made. And they're like, well, potatoes aren't even an American thing. It's an Irish thing. And I said, fucking look at me and say that again. I said, look at me and tell me again about how it's Irish. You bitch.
I'm also pretty sure they're wrong. I don't think potatoes originated in Ireland.
No, but it's a very popular food from there.
It's
Like,
just a very
lot of-
easy thing to grow.
A lot of potato stuff that we have is due to Irish people immigrating over and giving recipes.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. They're like, this probably wasn't even an American thing. It was an Irish thing. And I went, cool. I still get a whine about it then, motherfucker.
Fact.
I'm like, look at me. I have blonde hair and blue eyes, and you're going to say that Irish people can whine about it? Cool. This doesn't affect me in any way now. Don't get the lightning.
I'm gonna let you pick the equipment.
There you go, Aiden. We can start our bullshit strategy. Can I just say, I hate his movement cycle.
Oh, it's bad.
Also-
It is so unnerving to look at.
I don't think it has to be said, but like school lunches are bad the way they are because they're trying to accommodate everybody's taste, so it's plain as fuck.
They're not trying to accommodate
College
taste.
was a little bit different though because they do make your food like the way you want it, but still it's very cook all of this food to be as bland
First of all,
as it possibly
That
can.
doesn't happen. My sister just has a Subway at her college.
Dude,
In
I had one of the
in my
best sandwich
elementary
makers.
school, you could like see them actually cooking stuff behind the like the serving area. You could see them like actually cooking food as they were
Huh.
like passing it out.
So, one of my
mine
friends
was-
got
That
a pizza
was
slice
the
once.
best.
One of my friends got a pizza slice
Oh
once,
my
and it was
God,
like the
that's
cheese was
what that
melted
looks
down the
like.
sides. And he's just like, how did they do this? I'm like, oh, no. They just cook every slice individually. That's why every single one of them is burnt differently. And it's a really funny image to me.
My school cooked and baked in bulk, and then they would just stick it on heating pads in the lunch line, and they made it to accommodate everybody's taste, so it was bland as fuck.
Don't you dare. I see two big chests over here.
But no, when I went to college up in Canton, New York, it wasn't really a Subway, but we had like a sandwich
hold on.
station who
I'll
did
be
the
back.
deli meats.
One sec.
Oh my god, she knew how to make a good sandwich. I felt a little bit special too because she's like, "You want the regular?" and I'm like, "Yeah." So she knew what I liked.
Oh,
What the fuck happened? Well, I mean, to be fair, I wasn't gonna, like, save him. That's stupid. We'll just revive him eventually. Yeah, we have this Thai place we go to. And, like, if we call in, like, they have the name attributed to the number.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nice. Also,
the
I
Chinese-
swear to God, they stopped giving us white people spice, and I love it.
The Chinese joint over by us, and also some of the pizza spots we go to, like, because they associate orders with the phone number, it's like, can I get what I ordered last time? And they're like, yep, it'll be this much, and you just hand the card. I love that. Nice and easy.
oh.
we had this new Mexican place open up near us, and like, it's clearly like Mexican fast food. Like, it's not high quality stuff, but it's so fucking cheap. And it's also really good because it's Mexican. Like, come on.
Yeah, we
Mm.
there's a Chinese joint that we would go to called the Dollar Scoop place,
Mm.
and it sounds cheap because it was actually like $1.75 a scoop, but they had some of the best Chinese food there. Oh my god! I guess the price risen to way more than $1 now, but you know, inflation.
Well, people are always
COVID.
like, yada yada. I'm like, you have to compare price to taste. You can't expect too much. Like, if you're getting a
Yeah.
cheap thing and it doesn't taste like cheap food, it's a win. Keep going there. That is
Yep.
all.
The problem now is it's where I used to live and not where I live now, and I don't
Sad.
really want to drive all the way to fucking Kennesaw to eat.
I really thought you were gonna say Tennessee.
No. Never lived in Tennessee.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, damn, you lived in Tennessee. Also, yeah, no, I wouldn't want to go there either.
This place is literally like 35 to 40 minutes away now.
Did Risk of Rain add a revival feature?
Apologies, but I must be cringe.
God damn it, Aiden.
Don't they
I have to
revive?
make dinner. My father make dinner.
Also, Aiden, I'm pretty sure
Half
Risk of
an hour
Rain
to our
introduced a
dinner.
revival mechanic, so we can get rid of our shitty one.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you just stand in the circle and it showed like percentage, and there's an item called Charon's Token that reduces revival time.
Huh.
But no,
Neat.
go, fine, go be cringe, fuckhead.
What?
Unless they just updated the mod.
Well, I can
Yeah.
always check. It did.
Isn't
It
this-
looked like Risk of Rain. It didn't look like a mod text.
Hang on. We put James Webb Space Telescope up there to find exoplanets, right? That was one of the main things.
I don't know.
Sure. I
Bye.
don't fucking know, bro.
Bye.
Aiden, you're cringe.
I just saw this thing from Big Think that said exoplanet finding astronomer says there are 6 billion Earth-like planets in our solar system.
Hello?
What the fuck, Aiden?
Uh,
Your audio
I
quality,
I
bro.
think they miss.
I know. It went down because I'm on my phone.
It do go down.
It did
I
go down.
don't think they meant in our solar system.
Well, probably not.
Maybe universe? Or...
Well, Aiden, if it
not
takes
universe,
a
because
short enough time for you to make dinner, you
Yeah.
can always jump in if we're still alive.
Yep. We'll see.
I wonder if anybody's pointing that out in the comments here. Let me look.
Bro, who fucking cares?
Yeah, someone put it out. Solar system? Even if there are that many in our galaxy, there are far too many to be a practical planet B. The powers that seem to be getting desperate to find somewhere they could go to avoid consequences of their action on this planet. Even if we find an Earth-like planet, do you think
don't
they're
need to
going
read
to
this
give
whole
us
thing
tickets
out, bro.
away?
I really don't. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
I find
Y'all
it
want to
interesting.
hear a story about the World War II book I read?
Back in my day,
that
we
movie?
had to go up 17 mountains to get to school.
It's literally the movie 2012.
Oh yeah, speaking
No,
of
it's 2022,
World
dumbass.
Wars, I listened to The Piper in Magnus Archives.
Nice.
Ooh.
That one was all right. However, the one about the book makes me think that name's gonna show
I
up
love
again.
that. I liked the book. That one was a good one.
Magnus
were you saying?
Archive.
If I
Was
never
it about
hear-
Magnus and his archive.
Yes,
I
funnily
mean,
enough.
kind of, yeah.
Wow.
That's exactly what it's about. You stupid motherfucker. Anyway, but yeah, the book one, it's like if I never hear the name again, it'll be too soon. I'm like, oh, okay, so you've heard it before, so this is a character that's going to show up later. Cool. Along with the woman who turned into worms?
You met her.
The one where it's like, yeah, this woman, she may have been stabbed, but there was nothing there. I'm like, they laid eggs in you, and then it's like, then she turned into worms. I'm like, I was right.
And then she turned into a worm. How spooky.
Sitting there in English class, just like, eggs.
At some point, I should turn Magnus Archives back on.
Yes.
Just
or one
so
of
you
these
know.
days, I'm gonna be spoiling.
Yeah,
the
if I do catch up, I'm spoiling shit. I do not care. You've watched it so long before
I gotta
me. You
see
should be
where
done
I'm
by now.
at. Let's see
They're on,
what
like,
episode I'm on.
season 2, like towards season 3.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Objection.
I think Spotify.
Hold it!
My spot.
Hey, look, it's a Henry Stickmin reference. I wonder if you can use the fall to get out of being frozen.
Probably.
I love that you can do the whole shift thing just to move faster.
I know, right?
Mhm.
Just woo.
You just use the jump along with
Falling
the
is
shift.
faster than reloading.
Shut the fuck up.
Apparently, I had kept the album immortalized in my Spotify for some reason.
Imagine
Disturbed.
listening to it on Spotify instead of a podcast program because you don't want to listen to ads and you don't have money to pay for Spotify Premium.
Well, apparently YouTube
Cough.
cuts things short sometimes. Apparently,
I don't
Imagine
watch
listening to
YouTube
Magnus
anymore.
Archives.
You should, Aiden. I think you'd actually get a kick out of it.
Perhaps. However,
Aiden is
a
like-
lot of things to watch.
They're only a half hour each, so if you like listen to it when you're doing other things, because it's a podcast, it's all audio.
Perhaps.
Aiden's sitting here like that one recommendation is worth more than all the times Ash has told me to watch it.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's nothing against Ash. It's just we know what
Because-
we like.
He is the exact same person.
This is correct.
Yeah.
It's why when he finally told me to watch Community, I watched it. My family's like, you should watch it. I'm like, maybe. And Aiden's like, you should watch Community. I'm like, fuck it, okay.
One day I talked to him like, hey, have you watched this show called Psych? And you're like, yeah.
I'm like, I own 5 of the 8 seasons on DVD.
It's like, oh, okay.
I'm like, yes, it's a Canadian TV show. I lived there when it was on air. Well, for part of the time it was on air.
so what episode did you leave off on so far?
7. The Piper.
The pipe.
Can I just say, I enjoy that concept. However, the worms thing at the end, I just went, I'm like, oh, that's
The Piper.
cool.
He lays the pipe.
Oh, have you listened to The Man Upstairs yet?
I don't know, is that before or after that?
I don't know. I don't remember where each episode is exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I don't-
listen to the man downstairs.
I don't recall listening to one.
Also,
about
Lego
the man
movie
upstairs.
reference.
That's good, Aiden. That's what I was thinking the entire time I heard the man upstairs. I'm like, Lego movie?
Lego movie. Is it the special?
Shut the fuck up. I like how Will o' the Wisp's still in the bottom fucking right corner, even though everything else has been shifted to Timbuktu.
I asked because it's one of the most disgusting episodes there is.
First of all, you grabbed Happiest Mask for a red item?
Yeah.
You fuck.
We had other things. Whatever.
It seems I am on episode 56.
You gotta get the soul catalyst, Ash.
The thing that reduces
didn't know
equipment
which one to
cooldown
grab.
when you didn't
And there was a lot
ask.
of people. Well, there were a lot of enemies, so I just grabbed one. I was dying.
You could have just marked it and said "get."
You can mark shit?
Middle mouse.
Middle mouse.
It's like that.
Okay.
But now that you know that, holy shit, I
Yes.
evaporated that fucker.
Now that you know, there's no excuse.
Easy there, Aiden. You're not even in the game. Shut the fuck.
Yeah.
Aiden getting secondhand rage more than the person who's there firsthand.
I'm just playing with my noodles right now.
You would be, wouldn't you? That's not how you stir.
Well,
Aiden.
yeah, they're limp and wet.
Your noodle is always limp.
Yes, but this time it's wet. They were straight until they got wet. Funny joke.
Shut the fuck up, Game Grumps reference, you piece of shit. You know, if you use the Shrine of Chance and you don't get anything, you're just paying for the fireworks.
Yeah.
Unless
Which
you
is
don't
not-
have fireworks.
Why would you not have fireworks?
Well, I mean, I was the one who grabbed it, so.
Well, sure, but I had to, like, make sure we wouldn't fucking die first. Also, I kept fucking getting green items.
Yeah,
don't
I'm
see any
on
more shots.
episode 56.
Cool, so you're on season 2 still.
No,
Yep.
I've listened to Anglerfish? Why the fuck don't I remember?
Yeah,
what
that was
that's
like
about?
one of the first one.
It is the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anglerfish. Yeah, that has a lot of foreshadowing in it.
I legit don't remember that one. Why is it called Anglerfish? Give me a synopsis.
Because the monster is similar to an anglerfish, and that it lures you in by asking you if you want a cigarette.
That! Okay, yes, I remember that now.
7-foot rats. Rats
Oh,
upon
God,
his
man.
rats.
I hate that as soon as you said 7, I knew what you were doing.
7-foot rats. Rats upon his rats. When he calls you a rat.
You're gonna get served when
Bone
you divide
Turners.
Ash, Aiden.
The Bone Turner's Tale is one of my favorites.
Yo, he boning what?
As you can see, rats.
Bones.
Do not open. That's the one that sold me on it.
I absolutely.
yes. Do not open, aka the one person with a brain cell in this game, in this podcast.
was just-
Absolutely.
When he's like, the
Test.
guy left. Except he didn't. I just never saw him again. I'm like,
Colony.
oh. Okay.
The colony could go rot in hell.
Oh my god, across the street. That one was really good.
To this day, we don't know why he was eating paper.
No, what? Why? Why was it? Why? That's such a weird detail.
It's just what he does, man. I used to
He
eat
was
paper.
eating paper. I also used to eat paper a lot.
It took me a moment to remember that the character was a woman. It was like they assured me that nothing untoward was happening, that he was a gay. I'm like, oh, I see. I'm like, wait, I don't see how that's relevant. Yeah,
I am
Page
pulling
Turner.
up Magnus Archives.
Page Turner was really good.
You could say it was a real page turner.
I'm glad it cut out the P of that. It just Age Turner.
That's just what your birthday is, Charlie.
Kieran Woodward from the refuse of '93. Oh, the trash one.
Now I'm going to use my Babish branded tiny whisk that I bought
Okay.
off Amazon.
The trash one was pretty good.
The man upstairs is episode 18, so you got a little bit.
Yeah, give me a week. I'm listening to like 2 per day. Because my walks
Bush
take a
Zero
little
is
over
pretty
a half
good.
hour, so I at least listen to one there, and I like listening to one when I'm on the bus as
When
well.
your name, it all fades to black.
Why Black Aiden? You racist piece of shit.
Bitch, it's a fucking color.
Actually, it's the lack of.
I took art, I'm gonna beat your ass.
The Killing Floor was actually pretty disturbing.
I enjoyed the trash thing. I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be about weird waste. Teeth. I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah,
pronounced teeth.
there's just teeth. Don't know what to tell you.
Some real teethers.
I feel like they went a little too much with the whole. It was all the same tooth. I'm like, but that doesn't quite have the same twist to it. As if it was like, I don't know. As if it was all that guy's teeth. That would have been fucking weird, bro. I don't know. I just felt like there could have been a little more to do there instead of it's all the same tooth. It's like, but fucking why?
Has
Yeah.
everybody here seen Encanto?
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Charlie, you said you had a minor gripe with it. That they only really accepted Mirabelle after everybody lost their gifts.
Yes.
Except, not really. Like, pretty much the entire family was pretty chill with her for the entire movie, except for Isabella, who had
No,
other
I-
problems.
Isabella, I do not like their whole makeup. I feel it was
Well, it was more of. Abuela was still kind of upset that they didn't get their gift. And it was only after everybody else lost theirs that Abuela was like, oh, okay, you're fine now. It's like, what the fuck? Now, I know that's not the reason. It was just strange. Overall, good movie. We'll watch it
Yes,
again.
very good movie. Yes.
They talk about Bruno a whole fucking lot.
We
they sure
don't talk about Bruno, says everyone currently talking about Bruno.
Also, can we
Real
talk about
quick.
how fucking good Tio's part in that is? That is all.
Yeah.
Ash.
I also like
imagine
the
listening-
foreshadowing with Ears Girl.
Right,
And
I'm
the
like,
fact
why
that you
is
can
it
actually see Bruno in the background
just
of her
vibing
part.
to his own song?
Yeah, he's just vibing. He's in the background vibing, and I'm like, that's amazing.
They're roasting him. He's like, damn, this shit fire.
Bro, damn, they spitting bars out there. Holy shit.
Well, imagine, Ash, me getting back into Magnus Archives, listening to it while Anne's in the car.
yes. I don't know how she'll handle it, but
Do we care?
It'll be interesting.
It'll be
You grabbed the
neato.
heart of the void. I didn't know you grabbed the heart of the void.
yeah. I'll
Honestly, at this point, we don't really take Heart of the Void very much anymore. Just because we can just revive each other, and Heart of the Void can murder people a lot of the time. A lot of the time, it just ends up killing us.
I went to go use a shrine and I fucking got evaporated. I'm like,
It
That's
used
weird,
to be
I'm not
really good for
healing anymore.
survivability,
Oh, no.
but now,
Right, if
now
you're like-
everything just dies around us.
if you're using Goku, I can totally see why you do that. You just fly at the speed of light to a small enemy and say goodbye.
7
I smell the meatloaf.
Look up, Aiden.
Those rats. We don't talk about rats.
Jordan was like, I like My Hero. You should watch it. And then he like spoiled something for me. I'm like, motherfucker.
What?
And so I
You
read
should
the
watch it.
entire
Spoils
manga.
it. What?
He didn't mean to spoil it. He was just like, oh, shit. And I'm just like, you motherfucker. So I read the entire manga. I now know more than him, and I let him sit with that knowledge that at any moment I could spoil something. I'm just like, hey, where's the
So-
anime? And he's like, blank. I'm like, oh, the manga has like 2 whole arcs before after that, and he's like, no, please.
We have some development on the missing vehicle of Ash's car.
Someone stole Ash's car.
Okay.
What?
I talked
You got
to
voted.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
got
got
towed.
towed.
What were you doing
I
when
talked
it
to
got
my
towed?
manager.
It got turned
company.
into a toad. Just so
Yes.
you were clear about that.
What were you doing that it got towed?
It was
Literally
sitting up in
nothing.
the front.
It was
over-
vibing.
I'll kill you, Aiden.
They're like, "Hey, that thing doesn't really belong here. It's abandoned. We'll tow it." And it's like, "No, that's our car." But no, I talked to the management company, and they're like, "Oh, sorry. Well, it was up here forever, so yeah." And
It
I'm
wasn't
like,
even up there for 2 weeks.
and I'm like, well,
To be fair,
I can't really
most people use their
afford
car state.
$370.
I'm not saying that's a
to
good
take it
thing.
out.
It's just I get it. They're still dumb. I'm trying to mark that. There you go, Ash. I already have one.
And they're offering to take the 375 off my rent instead of like cutting me a check. So they're just gonna like credit me the 375. So I'm like,
Think of it this
Okay.
way. That rent thing, you can evade taxes on that. They gave you a check, you'd get less than that anyway.
so well, they don't really cut checks because they don't deal with cash at all or checks.
Time to commit
So
tax fraud.
they're
That's
giving me a credit towards their mistake. And I was like,
You
"Dude,
could say that
told
they're
us
giving
to
you
bring the
credit
vehicle."
towards a 7-foot rat.
I hate you so much.
I'm like, dude, you told us to bring the car up here while they were fixing stuff. And they're like, yeah, it wasn't, you know. I'm like, I think the day was to go get the cars the 28th, which is like 2 days ago. And they're like, no, it was like 4 days ago. I'm like, okay. Still, you know, not long enough for you to say, hey, it's abandoned. But they're willing to
To
work.
be fair,
out.
you've had 4 days to grab the car. They're still in the wrong, but
Well, it doesn't help that our neighbors fucking blocks my parking spot all the time.
Dude, I've had someone park in my spot in the driveway from the neighbors.
so you got rid of shitty roommates, now you got shitty neighbors. Excellent.
Well, we've always had shitty neighbors. That hasn't.
Oh,
really
did you
been-
finally get rid of your shitty roommates?
They're in the.
Let me
process of
rephrase.
packing.
I haven't heard any
They got
whining
COVID.
about them today, so I assume they're not here.
No, they're here.
Hmm.
But
Firefox. Why?
It's a good question, Aiden.
well, one had COVID, so no one decided to come help.
Your point being.
Well, that one actually makes sense. If they have to pack up and somebody gets COVID, nobody's gonna be like, yeah, sure, let me just come over anyway.
Their family is not at all helping to pack the house at all.
You know who else didn't help to pack the house? Our family, because they all live in Ohio. Bitch,
Who are
pack
you
your shit.
barking at?
Yeah,
We
they can
had to
their own
pack an
shit.
actual house. They have to pack their shit.
Now the other roommates.
There's more.
I'm getting rid of them once we move to
Wait, what?
an apartment.
What do you mean the
There's-
other ones?
What do you mean the other ones?
Will,
Why are there more?
Marie- Well, there've always been all of them,
I
but
thought they were a family. I was under the
Will
impression
Marie-
they all disappear.
Will Marie and their child Ashton, who are
Sorry.
recently
They don't
been
want.
very fucking annoying.
I really thought you said they don't want, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Dude,
Well, I mean, Marie probably doesn't, but
I can't tell you how many times I've seen that fucking kid come out with a blister pack of pills.
What?
not
Yeah.
even joking. I've had to take pills out of his mouth.
Bruh. The
In
fuck?
fact, I think they were Marie and Ashton were at our friend Robert's place, and he actually got a hold of a pill while she was on the phone.
I don't want to say they're bad parents, but
Oh no, she
are.
definitely was.
It
I
leaves
don't
a
wanna say
little
no
to be
teen,
desired.
but
She's a year older than Ash and like has zero concept of
responsibility.
responsibility. Plus, she's self-centered beyond anything I've ever seen for a person.
Yeah, I've learned that about parents who are young.
But our answer to get rid of them in a copacetic manner to where it doesn't cause issues is we're moving. At some
What?
point, I'm gonna find someone to. Yeah, we're gonna move. I'm
Alright,
gonna
which
find
red
someone
one do
to.
I want?
Get daggers.
Okay.
My
First of
entire
all,
plan was
That's
to get rid
Blaster
of this
Sword,
trailer.
my bad.
It'll do.
Blaster
we're
Sword
gonna-
is very good.
I saw a blade and went, that must be dagger.
So, your roommates are bad, yes? So instead of kicking them out, you decide to go through the trouble of moving?
Well, I
Well,
want to move here anyways.
To be fair, this is a shit place.
Okay.
It's a very poor construction. It's a small ass fucking kitchen without any kind of storage capacity.
So it's more of you finally have an incentive to move.
Yes,
And why'd you bother kicking out the other ones in the first fucking place?
because they needed to be.
Okay.
They would have tried to follow us.
Dagger.
They are a bane
Wow.
in my existence. Yeah, when I was in the process of trying to politely tell them they need to leave. Like, it was in the event that I eventually want to get rid of this trailer anyways and actually work towards buying a house. And I can't do that if
Well, he wants to build a
people go
house.
here. I want to purchase a newly built house, yes. One that still needs to be built.
Imagine not purchasing a
That's-
house out of
you
an
wanna build a
IKEA kit,
house.
having it shipped out in a train and putting it together.
I mean, essentially, that's what these template houses are, and I don't like those at all.
That's
They
what
are
my
so
grandfather-
limiting on
Actually,
your
it's what my
options.
my great grandfather did. My grandfather just built a house.
Yeah, the template houses are so limiting on the options they afford you. You can't even choose whatever color you want the outside to be. It's like 2 colors to choose from.
First of all, the fact that you can even afford to build a house, fuck you.
It would
Second
still
of
be
all-
on loan.
Lower your damn standards.
I'd still be getting a loan for like 250,000 to 300,000. It's still gonna be a 30-year loan. But no, the cost to purchase a house to building a house is virtually the same. So like, I want a brand new place that I know is solid in foundation and has all the Ethernet wiring for network. Because
Yes,
Fuck
the
running
gamer
cables through a
side has
house.
emerged.
fuck running cables through walls, man.
You're gonna have a, what, one-story house?
No.
Then how the fuck are you
hope-
gonna avoid having cables going through walls, Firefox?
I want at least a 2-story with a basement room, bonus room.
Bonus room!
That's what they call them down here. We don't actually have like basements with a water heater and stuff like that. It's literally a whole nother floor.
Isn't that what
We
basement
those of us in
is?
the south do
Another
not deal
floor?
with attics.
Keys into the building.
They don't deal with attics. They deal with basements.
No.
here.
You see, base. It's like we call them bonus rooms because they're a whole floor instead of just one room. It's like, wait, what?
Well, no, it's they're furnished basements basically, but
So
they're
it's
not
a
like the small
Basement.
crawl space. Yeah, it's not like a small crawl space.
That's because that's
basement
not a
where
basement.
it's
That's a
utility.
storage area or a utility
But
area. Nobody
they
calls that a
also don't
basement. If
do-
they do, they're stupid.
They don't do attics in the south at all for
Yeah.
whatever reason. Although, you know what's really fucking awesome? Attic fans. Fucking hey, they could clear out a house in no time with air.
I'm just imagining
Cool
it
off
blowing
that.
so hard all the people.
No. Cool off a house in no time.
Aiden, what's
But,
your
yeah.
ETA on dinner?
It is under construction.
Okay, I mean like, cause we're on stage 4 currently.
Yeah,
Y'all
like
can just
half-
keep like go. You can keep looping until I get back. You know.
We
If
got
you
like
guys
3
want to die.
hours
Aiden.
done.
I mean, do whatever the hell you want. I don't care.
We will.
We're making meatloaf with a side of soup.
Fucking what?
What? That makes no sense. It makes no sense.
You live in the South. How is
Yeah,
Why
that
do you
not?
do this?
The amount of tomato soup that went into
I
that.
put
is
too much
like,
tomato soup.
You put tomato
Get to
soup
the
into
top.
something
Tomato
tomato with
soup?
meatloaf?
Well, it's a mixture
Meatloaf.
between tomato soup, water, ketchup, and maple syrup. It's
syrup.
really good
All
top.
syrup.
It's really good topping, but that meatloaf is swimming
you
in it,
say?
so I don't think it's gonna evaporate all of it.
Tomato soup.
Yeah, usually we cook it in a bigger.
Also, did you just say
Thing.
evaporate, Firefox? Do you
Yes.
mean absorb?
It's called reducing
No,
The
fire.
meatloaf is
evaporate.
gonna absorb it? Oh, you mean you're
No.
heating it?
Yeah, it's in the oven for an hour, and the
Oh,
water in
Sorry,
the...
you said the meatloaf, and so I assumed like the meatloaf would be evaporating.
No,
How
no,
the
the
fuck?
tomato soup that's in there.
That's disgusting.
Whee!
I mean, it's...
Not as disgusting as him wanting to put barbecue sauce in it.
Oh, come on.
What do you
now.
mean?
can barbecue top a meatloaf and have it be really good.
First of
The
all,
packet suggested barbecue
Aiden.
sauce.
when we make meatloaf, we take ground beef, we take, I think, some onion, you know, normal stuff like that, and then we cook it. You don't base it in a sauce consisting of fucking tomatoes.
Why not?
Here, let me
Oh
tell
my
you.
god.
Let me tell you what we did last time. We made a meatloaf the way I described, and
What do you
then
mean?
I'm
and
so
then
bad.
you see we smoked the meatloaf with bacon in it. So
Disgusting.
Your
I don't
meatloaf
like
can-
bacon. Bacon, gross.
you also don't like barbecue sauce on meatloaf,
Like
so
candy
shut up.
bacon.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
You do not get a comment on my food takes when you say something stupid every time you discuss food.
Not
Not
gonna
to pull
lie,
off the
that's a
very
little bit of
basic
Aiden.
thing.
I hate
I'm not
things that
bad at
taste
what
good.
you
Ooh.
Aiden with his, your opinion's invalid, it is bad. What?
Well, I'm not wrong.
It depends on the opinion. And currently, I'm inclined to agree.
Aiden doesn't like meatloaf, I'm pretty sure.
What? Hey, Aiden. Do you like
Yeah?
meatloaf?
I mean, I've never really had good meat.
We'll fix that.
I'll be right back. I gotta pull it out of the oven. It's about to go.
He's got
My
a bun
father
on the
says
oven.
I'm insane, but
I agree. You know what, Aiden? You know what, Hash? I may have found someone with
I
a more
haven't
shit
attempted
take
to
than
make
you.
it.
What?
I may have found someone with a more shit take on meatloaf than you. Aiden?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not the type of person who usually just judges people on this is good or this is bad. I couldn't care less. However, meatloaf, Aiden? What about that could you possibly dislike?
I mean, it's covered in like mostly ketchup.
Then cover it in less ketchup.
Why would you put ketchup on it in the first place?
Because it's part of it. Like, that's just part of the recipe. It adds to it.
Exactly.
You know what else you can do? Barbecue sauce. Or
No.
Nobody asked for your opinion, Ash.
Actually, I've never
Really
had
is
a
bad.
barbecue sauce. I'm willing to try it. It's just I haven't had meatloaf in a while.
I'm surrounded by Neanderthals who aren't willing to try new things.
I'm very willing to try it.
You literally just said, why would it have ketchup on it in the first place? Exactly. Like, do you know how many things have ketchup, Aiden?
Yes. I also don't really like ketchup.
Okay, do you want to know why originally it was ketchup? Because
Sure.
ketchup was
Shoot.
cheap.
Well, yeah,
You could afford ketchup, Aiden.
I'm aware.
You're gonna find out that a lot of South recipes and stuff like that is just gonna be this item was cheaper. Because the people were poor.
That is, in fact, why a lot of my mom and family recipes are like that.
We cannot go one decent meal in my house without my parents being like, "Ooh, my parents made shit food." It's like, we know, because you won't shut up about it. We get it. Believe me, we get it. What was that noise that I just heard? What?
Even if it came from my mic, it was definitely food.
I don't know what you're saying. Your audio is dropped.
If it came from my mic, it was probably food.
Sounded like you dropped a baking sheet. I really should be checking my OBS for how long this is. 45. That's